Yes, we are live. Welcome back into the channel, my friends. As you guys can see, we're back down at Fairgrounds Park in St. Louis, Missouri. Appreciate you guys coming in. See, we're going to be doing it all today. Casting some corn out here, see if we can get some big old carp or something. Also got a bass lure on, and we've got some worms. Going to be fishing around for some bluegill and stuff too. And I've got a tree right underneath here, so I got to kind of, that's why the angle like this. Move over a little bit to get a reasonably good cast out there. Really wasn't that far out. We'll give it a shot first cast. We're just getting started, folks. Appreciate you guys coming back in. And with the way this is kind of like not too much wind today. I gotta put the popper back on. And I do have this on my little Ozark trail, so boy, man, it's gonna be fun if I hook something big on this sucker. Hope you guys are enjoying Thursday, my friends. Shoreline's being well hit by the sun, so hopefully it's warming up. Okay, I'm pulling some big old carp, maybe some catfish, bass, who knows. You guys enjoy the show today, my friends. I had another really cool night last night in the boat. That was amazing there. Trying to keep an eye on that other carp rod. I'll check that chat, okay, folks? It's still a little early for the top one. I don't know. Might still be a little early for a top water rod. Not sure. Have to figure out what these guys are doing today. From one day to the next, and from one temperature to the next, it can be very different. Let's see, Pierre, what's going on? How you doing today, Pierre? See, Pierre says hi, and he's from the UK. I see Chris says, good luck, Mike. Appreciate it, Chris. How you doing today, my friend? Let's see, Monster, what's going on? How you doing, Monster? Monster with the strong emoji. Let's see, Chris says Pier. Chris says monster. Pier says, how are you, Chris? Let's see, Chris says, headache, Pier, but fine. Thanks for asking. Let's see, Chris says Corey. Yep, Corey, what's going on? How you doing, Corey? See, Danny says hi, Mike. Danny, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you coming in, my friend. Let's see, Danny says hi, Chris. Let's see, Chris says Danny. Danny says hi, Pier. See, Pier says hi, Danny. Let's see, in California, what's going on? How you doing today, California? California says hi, get him in the lip. I'll sure try today, my friend. Let's see, Danny says hi, California. Danny says hi, Eric. Let's see, California says hi, Dan. Let's see, Eric, what's going on? Yep, looks like a nice day out here. Yeah, it's about 55, 56 degrees. We're supposed to get into the low 60s, the low to mid 60s. Well, we'll see. Let's see, Bambi, what's going on? How you doing, my friend? Bambi says, hey, guys, that's 7th in chat. It's the 18 people in and 10 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let's see, Melvin, bad boy Melvin is in the house. What's going on, bad boy? Let's see, Melvin says, good luck. Sandy says, Chris, he's checking chat. Soon it's time for you know what. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Melvin. Let's see, Bambi says, perfect spot. Let's see, Danny with the pink poo emojis. Let's see, Melvin says, hi, Danny. Let's see, Pierce says, hi, Melvin. And the fishing felon, what's going on? How you doing, my friend? Let's see, Felon says, hello, everyone. Let's see, Danny says, Felon. All right, let's see. Let's see, Bambi with the shout out. How you doing today, Bambi? Man, I got to get the skunk off the board. We're going to have to put a worm on here real quick. Yeah, these carp can take a while to kind of coerce in. And assuming that corn isn't getting pulverized out there by bluegill and stuff, you might have an opportunity to get one. Yeah, I've got a lot of options to fish this particular shoreline. This is a rocky shoreline, so I can always cast a bottom bouncer and see what's going on for bass. It might be a little early in the day for them to be coming up to the surface yet. You guys know in the summertime you can get them to hit largemouth in the like early in the days, but we've had some really cool spring days recently, so kind of slowing these bass down as far as their aggression is concerned right now. It's like they're still in a like late winter pattern, to be honest. Like that worm, like something, shoot it. Put a new one on here. Always, if you put a new one on, you got a better. Yeah, I dug about 70 little red worms, so we should have plenty of bait to kind of keep us entertained while we wait to see if this big old carp out here are going to hit. There are a lot of big carp in this lake, folks. I mean, ever since the weeds and algae started growing in, people honestly just about stopped fishing for carp in this lake. Because, you know, they get snagged in that stuff and wind up losing a fish, and that's it. They don't want to come back and try again. Hope that was a pop. See that? Ooh, I saw that. There's an echo down here. Oh, I forgot it echoes from the bridge down the path you got. Yep. See him popping it out there? Man, that tree is going to get on my nerves. I'm casting underneath it too. It's just that tree is going to get on my nerves fast. There was some popping it out there. I got I believe a 1/10 ounce bell weight on that. Hopefully that'll help to keep it out of the muck. Bob's gone. Missed him. Got most of that worm off. There was something nipping on it out there. Not necessarily a good thing, because those carp usually double it over and take off. Well, I hope you guys can hear me. I did push the camera back a little bit here. I wanted to get this whole shoreline and the rods and everything. Them just smacking it out there. What the heck is that doing on that little friggin'? That's nice. Got a little thing there. Something feels like it got most of the corn off. Yep. Got most of that bait off on me. This could be a really good idea, or it could be like a wonky idea, trying to see if I can get around these bluegill and channel catfish and stuff and get one of these big old carp hit. But it's worth the effort. I mean, I've done this for 4 or 5 hours, and usually you'll get one to hit at least, for eventually. That's back on. That's our basic our carp rig today, folks. Let me show you guys a little like 1/10 ounce bell wig on a I believe that's a number 8 bait holder. I've just got some corn stringed on there. It's a pretty simple technique. Very effective for carp. Carp, catfish, name it. I'm trying to get out of the way of this tree so I can get a good cast. It's okay. About the middle of the leg. You guys see that? Yeah, that was a carp just come up to the surface right there. Carp or bass or something over there. Pick that up off the bottom, make sure she's not stuck in the muck. Right. I want to get the skunk off the door, folks. Yeah. We got plenty of time, folks. I've got, you know, I'm going to be casting around the artificial as well. I got a lot of lures I can try out. Yeah, that echo is just going to be. Yeah, that's why it's kind of, I've got an echo. It keeps bouncing off the bridge down there. Hopefully you guys can even see that bobber on this angle. I'm kind of surprised I haven't gotten a pop on this bobber. Maybe I need to slow her down even more. You can really slow these finesse bobbers down. I mean, just give it like little twitches. This is a rattle pop. When you twitch it, it rattles. So you can almost not move it at all and still make the noise. Like, it took them a minute. Popped it. Missed him. Got there. Yep. I'm kind of hoping to try to set this up so that I can do multitasking. It might be thinking too much. I'm gone. Got my time. Boy, that's the reason why I was having trouble hooking them. Man, that's a little guy. Sheesh, dude. Little female. No skunk, so no skunk, folks. First fish on the board, bluegill. Yeah, you guys can see the difference in color. Boy, that is a little golden color guy there, folks. Beautiful guy. All right. Hook is out. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Trying to make sure I've got this on the right angle so I can see her. Just in case something starts pulling there. I want that a little slack, but not too slack. Check my drag. I want all this stuff ready to go in case something hits hard. I don't want to have that bust off on me. Might only have 2 or 3 good chances down here a day to get a big carp. All right, folks, we're back. Let's see. Danny says, Mike, you need a parrot. Let's see, Jason, what's going on? How you doing, Jason? Jason says, hello, everyone. Let's see, Christopher, what's going on? How you doing? Christopher says, oh, what's up, brother? I'm new. I was walking down the street the other day. And my dog walked out to me and said, what's your dog's name? I said, I don't know. He hasn't told me yet. It's probably arf, arf, arf. Yeah, he'll probably say that eventually. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Jason. Let's see, Chris says, bad boy Melvin. Let's see, Chris says, Jason. Melvin says, hey, Chris. Let's see, Red Bull Princess, what's going on? How you doing, Red Bull? Red Bull says, I hear you perfectly. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. I hope you have a great day too, Red Bull. Let's see, Jason says, hi, Chris. And Mr. Bait and Tackle, what's going on? Mr. Bait and Tackle says, good luck, Mike. Let's see, Jen says, hello, wonderful people. Time to watch our favorite fishing guy. I appreciate you guys coming in, and I hope you enjoy the show. Let's see, Melvin says, that's an army of corn on that hook. Hey, it works. It'll work to bring in a big old, there's 20 and 30 pound carp in here, so you give them something to eat. And I've always lived by the saying with carp, if you feed them, they will come. Let's see, Chris says, maybe Mr. Bait and Tackle. Let's see, Melvin says, hey, Bait and Tackle. Let's see, Bait and Tackle with the heart emojis and the smile emoji type. Boy, that's an interesting new emoji. Let's see, Satan, what's going on? How you doing, Satan? Satan says, hey, all. Let's see, Satan says, where's MVP? Right here. Oh, there's a bite on a corn. Let's cut the grass, of course. Gotta cut the grass today, huh? Messing with it out there. Probably another bluegill, but bluegill are challenge cat. Every time they peck on it like that, I'm pretty confident they got a lot of that bait off of it. Doesn't look like it bothered it, but that hook's exposed to the bottom. I try to cover this hook completely, folks, so even the slightest bit of that hook, except for that tip, is covered. Yeah. Alright. What I want to try fast down here today. I know you guys can see me from this rod, so I'm gonna take a couple casts over here. Ah, right on that thing. Yeah. I'm amazed that he can pulverize right there. I want a back slap. Something. It's been pretty cool. I might put on a spinnerbait or something. A little spinnerbait, a little micro crankbait, something. Because I think it might be a little bit too cool right now for these guys to be hitting top water. Largemouth bass fishing a little different. Well, you gotta ask. Let's go back to the worm, see if I can get a few more goofy along here before I switch up. I think I'm going to switch up lures. I think it's a little bit too cool this morning for these guys to want to hit an artificial on top water at least. I've got plenty of other artificials. I've got rooster tails. I've got like little micro crankbaits, spinnerbaits. Wind, you think like little spinnerbaits would work. Line them, you know. I feel like some small fish over here to the left. I'm not sure what they are. Yeah. Not getting torn up too bad out there. Sometimes you cast down here with corn on the bottom, and as soon as they hit the bottom, like, the little pink things out there. Hard to cast anything any further out there than that without that 110 down weight. I don't have a small enough hook to be able to hook the bluegill. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to shed my jacket here eventually when it gets up into the 60s. But right now, kind of need it when it's in the 50s. You got a 8 to 10 mile per hour wind. It's not too bad. Off the drop. See that sucker? Pull that under. Right back up. That line was tight too a second ago. Around. Come on, thanks. It's perfectly quiet down here, and all of a sudden they got to decide they want to cut the grass today. Dang lawnmower, that. There's no grass to cut down here. There really isn't. We haven't had much of a growing season. So this is like the third time they went over this particular location. Tell you what, I'm gonna put a little rooster tail on. What the heck? Assuming I can figure out where I put my rooster tail. Should be in the box here somewhere. Should be in here somewhere. Yep, there it is. That's one of our rooster tails. It's a little shad pattern. I do have a little bluegill pattern too. I cast around. I think it's a little too early for them to be hitting top water down here. Maybe around noon they might start coming up and going after. But for now, I don't think it's. I think it's a little early for that. Hang on, folks. Let me get this tied on, and I'll come check that shad. Okay. That is just, I'm having difficulty with every little thing. Nope, that's tied on. See that? Had to grab onto the stick. Gonna be one of those days, folks. Gonna be one of those days. Let's see, 18 incredible people in. Let's see, and 22 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Chris says, Mr. Bait and Tackle. All right, here we are. Lee, what's going on? How you doing, my Lee? Lee says, work. I'm done going fishing. Awesome, my friend. I hope you catch a big one today. Let's see, Satan says Lee. Let's see, Satan says MVP Lucas. Lucas in the hospital right now. But he told me that he said he would help you. So I'm going to go ahead and cash app you. Oh, thank you, my friend. I do appreciate that. Let's get some WWs in the chat for Satan, my friends. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, that's a donation from Satan, my friends. Let's see, Lee says 420. Let's see, Philin says, looks nice out there. Again, thank you, Satan. Let's see, Pierce says, Bethka. Let's see, Satan says hi, Lee. Let's see, Spawn, what's going on? How you doing, Spawn? Spawn says hi, MVP. Let's see, and Terry, what's going on? How you doing, Terry? Let me make sure to pin that up right now. Where is that comment? Sorry about the tractors, folks. Evidently, they have to decide they want to cut the grass now. Well, I can't freaking find it. I don't know where it is. Here we are. Let's see, I've got that pinned up now. Again, thank you, Satan. Let's see, Terry, what's going on? How you doing, Terry? Terry says, hey, howdy, is Mr. MVP. See, Chris says Terry. Chris says, Terry. Let's see, Satan says hi, everyone. Terry says, Mr. Chris. Chris says 420. And see, and Victor, what's going on? How you doing, Victor? Victor says, looks like a perfect spot. Where are you and what are you going for? Let's see, we're down in St. Louis, Missouri. This is a little lake called Fairgrounds Park. By little, I mean it's about 8 to 10 football fields long, depending upon how much rain we've had. Now we've had a lot of rain, so it's only about maybe 3/4 of a football field wide, though. It's a pretty cool lake. Let's see, we've got corn on that the rod setting here. We're also casting around some bass lures. And we've got worm out there as well. So carp, bluegill, largemouth, channel catfish, and carp. And G. Felon says, yep, so peaceful. Let's see, and Gator, what's going on? How you doing, Gator? Gator says, Chris, okay. You okay today, brother? Let's see, Victor says, thanks. Let's see, Gator says, yes, he's in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's see, Satan says, hey, MVP. He's currently, I thought I pinned that up. Yeah, I got you. Boy, that's weird. Let's see, Benjamin, what's going on? How you doing, Benjamin? Benjamin says hi. Chris says, yeah, I got you. Chris says, yes, Gator, they put super glue on it. Let's see, Chris with the WWs. I appreciate that, Chris. And Care Bear, what's going on? How you doing, Care Bear? Care Bear says hi. Let's see, Satan says, no worries, MVP. Take care, brother. Let's see, and Possum, what's going on? How you doing, Possum? Possum says hi. Chris says Possum. Possum says Chris. Let's see, Victor says, love from South Carolina. And like for you. Awesome, my friend. Appreciate that. Yep, 11 people in and seeing 26 thumbs up. See, Gator says, Satan, holy crap, bro. No, I'm keeping him in my thoughts. Yes, sirree. And please tell Luca, put him in my prayers for us, folks. For a quick recovery. Let's see, Denny says, Colt, brother. Let's see, Possum says, Gator, what's up, brother? Let's see, Chris says, Care Bear. Possum says, hopefully Luca gets better. Let's see, Gator says, Danny, Mike, and brother. Let's see, Possum says, everyone smash that like button and subscribe. Chris says, start a call. Let's see, Danny says, hey, I can. Let's see, Satan says, MVP, Lucas is in the hospital, right? Yeah, I got you. Let's see, Possum says, Danny. All right, I was reading the pinned message here. Ooh. Goes to show how many times I pin messages. Yeah, it'd be kind of a waiting game, these cards sometimes. Unfortunately, when they start cutting this grass, they're going to be doing it for a while. I don't know why. I mean, there's no grass to cut. Jeez. That might be why they're not hitting top water right now. Hang on. If I'd have known they were cutting grass on this side and going on the other side. It always seems like whatever side I hit on, I'll cut the grass on. That's our second fish of the day. Hey, it counts, folks. Unartificial. Yeah, there are way bigger crappie here in this lake. That's just a little like 7-incher. Yep. Yeah, that's just a little 7-incher, folks. Second fish of the day, my friends. Beautiful guy. Yeah, that's why I'm casting around the artificial and stuff to kind of keep us entertained while we wait for that big old carpet rod to go down. Beautiful guy. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see, 10 people in, seeing 28 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you. Let's see, Possum says, hi, Danny. Lee says, our freshwater drum good to eat? They are pretty good to eat, depending upon the size and the water that you catch them in. Now, down by me, down on the mighty old muddy Mississippi River, right out of St. Louis, you don't want to keep them over about 4 or 5 pounds. Now, up in the Missouri River, you can keep them up to about 7 or 8, because the water is quite a bit cleaner up there. They taste a lot like white bass. Yeah, they got a very clean taste as long as you don't get them too big. And you want to kind of stay away from the belly meat. Yeah, take the back and the side, cut away that belly meat. Let's see, Possum says, hi, Satan. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Lee. Let's see, Lucy, what's going on? How you doing, Lucy? Lucy with the unicorn and the heart emojis and the rainbow emojis. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Satan. Danny says, hi, Lucy. Let's see, Lee says, hi, Danny. Gator says, Lucy. And the alien emoji. Whatever. Let's see, Danny says, Satan, I saw the Cash App mail from Mike. Yep, I appreciate that, Danny. Thanks for putting the WWs in. Let's see. Lucy says hello. Lucy says hello, Gator. See, Chris says Lucy. And see, Arnold says, bro, how's your morning? And we're doing okay. If the dang old trucks cutting the grass would quit. Got one rod out here with carp, and we're casting around an artificial, see if we can get some bass and other species. There's still some messing with that corner. You're thinking about it. Get that freaking ball. One bluegill, one crappie so far. I don't want to see one of these days we're going to have to fish out here, going to have to keep us entertained, catching some other species while we see if we can get something big on, because that river is like flooding right now. I can't fish in freeze, folks. I mean, I would need a boat to fish that stuff down there. There's no shoreline to fish it. There's literally no bank to fish down there on the river right now. You guys saw my last live stream. I was being pushed up to the bank, and the water was still going up. Yeah, you don't think this guy's doing this intentionally, folks? Sorry about that, up off the tripod. That's the third time he's gone over this one spot. So either he needs to, you know, pretty much get his tractor a little bit, you know, sharpen that sucker up or move on. And so, yeah, so far we've caught one bluegill and one crappie so far. Let's see. Arnold Gator says, "Okay, Mike, I'm breaking out the fish whistle to infinity and beyond. Cheers!" Oh boy. Let's see. Bambi with the prayers for Lucifer. Let's see. Satan says, "Sorry, I was getting stuff together. I had to head back to the hospital." Yeah, again. Wish Satan our prayers for speedy recovery, my friend. And see, Bambi says, "Please tell him, everyone, praying for him." And see, Gator says, "I let Luca know y'all wish him well. Thank you, my friend." And see, Bambi says, "Thank you." I'm sorry about this tractor, folks. All right, tell you what, let's get back out here. Water back on. That's pretty cool. Large mouth. Some largemouth looking. First fish of the day. That's a cool largemouth, folks. Number 3, my friend. There we go. I pinched the barbs down on that rooster tail so they'll come out a little easier. Gorgeous largemouth, folks. And oh boy, she's almost 12 inches, so very close to a keeper on the Mississippi if we were fishing down there. It's about 11 3/4, so very close. Beautiful guy, my friends. So we've caught 3 species so far, 3 fish and 3 different species. Gotta love it, my friends. Beautiful. All right, buddy. See you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, now we're getting into some fun, folks. Let's see, 9 people in, and 30 thumbs up. Again, folks, I apologize for the tractors. I didn't start the feed more than a minute or two, and they dragged those tractors over here right to this one side, and they're starting to cut. Let's see, Chris says, Satan goodbye, Satan hi. Let's see, Bambi says, YouTube 420, take care of him, we need y'all. Let's see, Bambi says, woo. Let's see, Arnold says, like every day. Yep, please like and subscribe if you haven't. All right, let me set our spot in chat, and we will get back to some fishing. I was more like that. Oh, look at you over there. Awesome, guys. Yeah, that's another little, that's a male. That's starting to get the blue colorations around the head. You can just tell that this one's a male. Now, if it wasn't for that little bit of blue around there, I'd say that was a female. So 2 bluegill and largemouth and a crappie so far. Beautiful guy. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let me know if the camera, the quality, we're not pixelated or anything, folks. Let's see, 14 people in, 33 thumbs up. Chris says, yep, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yep, like and subscribe. Share us out. It helps out the channel so much. Let's see, Bambi with the getting stronger in the 100% emoji. Yeah, I like this. I can see all the way down that shoreline. That's perfect. That's a perfect camera angle. That's hard for us to get a better angle than that. Always happens. carp, big crappie. Sometimes you can get, there'll be like a 2-pound green sunfish sitting right by the bank. They'll grab it, and that line's like totally slack. Clean. 100%. Totally cleaned off, folks. What I might have to set the magnetics down on my reel a little bit so I can get a little bit further distance. As soon as I see a carp come to the surface, I'll know where to cast, but I haven't seen one come up yet. They tend to make themselves pretty known unless they're like in one spot in the entire lake bedding. Nesting actually, because they don't actually bed. They just come in, you know, the male comes in, digs the spot real quick, the female comes in, drops her egg, the male comes in, does his thing, and they're done. They get out of Dodge and they go move down to the next one. So they reproduce in quantity rather than, you know, protecting their eggs like a bass or bluegill would. They'll spread those out across the lake. It's one of the reasons why their eggs are such a good food source for like panfish and stuff. Those eggs will be everywhere across this lake in the shallows. When they're fry cats, they've got no protection. They're just like bass candy and bluegill candy. Oh yeah, that's over halfway over to the other side of the lake. And that's just with a 1/10 ounce bell weight. Imagine how she'd cast if I put like a ½ ounce or an ounce of weight on her. Kind of want that situated a little differently so I can see the rods a little better. Probably better like that. I don't want to set her up too high because I don't want her to, if something doubles that rod. I want to be able to get to that rod in time too before she pulls it in or lets go. That looks pretty good. Right in the middle of chat, right above the chat line. That's perfect. Let's see, Anna, what's going on? How you doing, Anna? Anna says, hi, Danny. View is good, Danny. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, Anna says, hi, Dad. How you doing, Anna? Oh, you're talking about Chris. Let's see, Chris says, hi, daughter Anna. I got you on that one, Chris. Like, that's not your dog. Oh, go. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Anna. Let's see, Anna says, hi, Mike. Let's see, Nico, what's going on? How you doing, Nico? Nico says MVP. Danny says, hi, Nico. Gator says, Anna. Let's see, Chris says, hi, Nico. Let's see, Anna says, hi, Gator. Nico says, hi, Danny and Chris. And the felon says, Nico. Let's see, Ed, what's going on? How you doing, Ed? It says, hey, Mike, how are you doing? Actually, you asked first, so, okay. Let's see, 2 bluegill, a largemouth, then a crappie so far. We've got 1 rod sitting here with corn out there, channel catfish, or carp. We haven't gotten any channel catfish or carp yet, but we've gotten the crappie and the bluegill and the bass. Let's see, Jenny says, kids in the chat, so keep chat PG-13. Yes, sir, my friends. Let's see. Chris says, so you're going to pay the allowance, Mike? Are you nuts? Yeah, she ain't my daughter. Let's see. Nico says, fishing felon. It says, wow, nice. Let's see. Danny says, I directly will remove it and time you out. Yes, definitely, folks. This is a PG-13 chat. Let's keep that chat clean. Let's see. Chris says, Edwin. Gator says, same. Let's see. Anna says, hi there. Let's see. Yukon says, MVP, what's up? How you doing today, Yukon? Fishing for carp down at the Fairgrounds Park. Also fishing around some bass lures, bluegill, crappie, that sort of stuff. Let's see. It says, keep it up, Mike. Up, yep. Danny did it. He broke out my main account. Let's see, 13 people in and 36 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yep, now he can even boot the moderator. What's a little after? Guys seem to be aggressive. They just don't want to come up with the surface. I fished it 3-4 times out there and I still didn't. I don't got time, folks. Those stickers are tough to hook on these rooster tails, folks. That's our third bluegill today. Cool little guy. That's a pretty male there. Yeah, she'll go about just a hair under 6 inches, so like 5 3/4. Beautiful guy, folks. I love it, my friends. Really do. Gorgeous bluegill, folks. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see, Jenny says, hi, Ed. And Miss Giggy, what's going on? How you doing, Miss Giggy? Miss Giggy says, Mike, hi, Mike and everyone. Let's see. Danny says, hi, Miss Giggy. Chris says, Mr. President. Let's see, Gator says, Miss Giggy. Let's see, Anna says, hi, Miss Giggy. Miss Giggy says, waxing extra to you, Chris passing, Ultra Trat. See now. Let's see, Miss Giggy says, Danny. And the kissy emoji. Let's see, Danny says, just a little more time till you're with me, my darling. Let's see, Miss Giggy says, cold and high. Let's see, Chris says, pulling the hand, break Miss Giggy and come getting some coffee. Let's see, Miss Giggy says, hi, Chris. Let's see, Danny says, no, I waited long enough, Chris. Let's see, Chris says, well done. How sad you are, not welcome as well. Let's see, Danny with the heart emojis. Let's see, Felon says, maybe catfish bait. It is possible. I could put some cut bait out there. We got plenty of time to catch a bluegill down here and cut one up. It's an option. I could put a piece of cut bait out there. Let's see, Danny says, be there soon. Let's see, Dan says, pretty fish, them bluegill. They look similar to Black Sea sea brim. We get them off the shores. Yeah, your sea brim probably get quite a bit bigger than these guys. These guys only get to be about like a pound, pound and a half at most. Most of them are in the half pound, like 3/4 pound range. Let's see, Chris says, going to walk the dog. Be right back. Don't forget the pooper scooper. See you in just a minute, Chris. Dinner or 2 or 5. It just depends upon how much your dog ate. If you overfed your dog, it can be like an hour. Knowing Chris would probably be an hour. Man, that rod pecking over there. Well, I might put on a. You can always come back. Try something else. I've got a lot of artificials in here. Let me see what I dig out of my bag here. Let's see now. You guys are enjoying the show today. So I could try one of these little micro crankbaits. One of these little like bluegill style crankbaits. I've gotten some big bass in this little square bill type crankbait. You gotta be very accurate. You can't use very heavy line. 6 pound test is about as heavy as you can cast with this small of a lure. It's more designed for like smallmouth and like goggle eye and other species in like creeks and stuff. But I've gotten some like 5 and 6 pound largemouth on it. I've missed some big ones on this particular lure too because the treble hooks are very, very small. Now they're very sticky as well, so anything that touches it's going to get stick, but they don't always stay in. All right, well, let me trim this line now. I'll show you this lure before I do some casts with it. All right, there we go. Piece trimmed. All right, folks. Yeah, that's just a little micro crankbait, so very, very small guy. Here's fish behind me. Let's water like that. I forgot about that. The trouble hooks on these guys actually far away from you guys. I think I can. Come back and check that chat, folks. How's this wine doing? Doesn't look like she's done much at all. I'm gonna get her in there, check her out, see what's going on with her. Get cleaned again. I must be out there with some bluegill and stuff, folks, even out in the middle of the lake. Now, we might be putting that cut bait on here. I can't keep a bait with any hook. Can't keep a rod with any bait on it out there. I might have to put some cut bait on. Put a bluegill, chunk of bluegill or something on. Of course, that will limit the fish we catch, because instead of being able to catch catfish and carp, it'll just be catfish, because carp won't get cut bait in these local ponds. Now, I have gotten carp take cut bait in the river, but very, very rarely do they even hit down there. In these lakes, they've got a tremendous amount of food, so they are not really pressed for trust for a food source. That's pretty much over there, almost the other side of the lake. You'd probably be better with like a bait feeder method, but man, I just don't really have the money to be able to do that type of thing. Let's see, 9 people still in and seeing 48 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let's see, Jenny says K. Let's see, Alton, what's going on? How you doing, Alton? Alton says new subscriber. I hit like. All right, thank you, Alton. I appreciate it, my friend. Alton Davis. Appreciate that, Alton. Let's see, Malik says, Mr. Mike is live. How you doing today, Malik? Let's see, Gator says Malik. Let's see, Miss Giggy says Malik. Let's see, Danny says milk. Let's see, Malik says Gator. Malik says Miss Giggy. Let's see, Malik says Danny. Let's see, Malik says, how much is bait feeder? A bait feeder method. I've never actually looked them up per se. Yeah, you know they got these little like it's the bait that really costs it. You know, the corn, the grain, the soybean, all that stuff. And I think I've got I got some stinger, those little stinger hooks you put on the back of that with a little piece of fake corn. I'll have to look it up. Let's see, Chris says Malik. Let's see, Malik says Chris. Let's see, Malik says, who did you headbutt, Chris? Looked like it hurt. Let's see, Chris says, a wooden beam, Malik, and it won. Boy, that's bad when a wooden beam wins against you, buddy. Let's see, Chris says wooden. I understood what you meant. Wouldn't you do or wouldn't you don't, or I don't know. Eight incredible people still in, my friends. And let's see, 49 thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we've got some other anglers down there coming out, but don't expect them to catch much. Let's see, Malik says, it must have been a hardwood. Oh, yeah, if it was a softwood, he would have won. But, boy. Let's see, Chris says, split my head open, Mike, like 4 inches. Did you see the scar I had on my forehead from where I hit coming in my house? It was about, 3.5 inches. Yeah, Jason kept yelling, go to the hospital, go to the hospital, go to the hospital. Nah. That's the bad way to dye your hair with. Yeah, that is definitely a bad way to dye your hair red, buddy. Much easier ways. Let's see, Danny says, saw the fix, Chris. Let's see, Danny says, Chris, yeah, milk. Yeah, Malik, hardwood or not, the kind of Claudia likes. Oh, boy. Let's see, Chris says, went to the doctor and they super glued it. Yeah, in the United States, they usually put the little staples across it. Either staples if it's too bad, or if it's not so bad, they just put the little the butterfly over it. See, 13 incredible people in. I'm seeing 49 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I've lost confidence in this particular. I'm gonna switch up to a little. I can switch up to a little fire tiger rooster tail rather than the shad pattern. See if that entices some of these long-eared stuff to hit. For 6-pound test, that's freaking tough stuff. I'll show you this, guys, once I get her tied on. Yep, this is what those donations, Danny, you got me, Danny and Miss Giggy. What I bought with a lot of that stuff is fishing lures, new fishing line, this new rod and reel combo, bait holder hooks, all the stuff we need to pretty much fish the entire summer season. And I just put that hook right through my hook. Don't you hate it when that happens? Alright, there we go, folks. That's a little fire tiger rooster tail. I have to trim that, of course. Yeah, very effective lure, folks. Let me turn this up real quick. And my chat is set. Good. All right, she's trimmed, and it might be trimmed a little bit too close, unfortunately. Wish I wouldn't have trimmed it that close. Dang it. I guess that's okay. Well, that line was tight to get it. Okay, he was running with it. I can't believe we hooked that. That's a big hook to be hooking that on. It's actually a pretty decent sized bluegill. That's too big to be using for cut bait. So that's our second, third, our fourth bluegill of the day. Another nice male. And I wonder why she kept pulling on it. Apparently she had hooked himself. Apparently he had hooked himself. Beautiful guy, folks. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. I could put worm out there all day long and get bites. But I could do that anywhere. Yeah, I wanted a slightly smaller size of bait holder hooks, but they didn't have any at Walmart. The only sizes they had in my size were gold, which would be fine in the lake, but in a river it would be useless because those would bend out on anything over about maybe 8 or 10 pounds. Those blues, they have the biting, the raw biting power to be actually able to bend those hooks out just by biting down. So you don't even get to pull on them. I actually have had that happen where I've hooked into like a 10 or 15 pound blue cat, and I don't even get to bite the fish. When I come in, that hook is just bent around like a pretzel. It's quite as far out, so cast that right back out here. We're gonna rebait the spot, because I haven't done this since I got here. Make sure I get some corn out there before I'm actually fishing. That's halfway across the lake, so. So this lake isn't that wide. Now it's long, it's not that wide. How did you get wrapped around a rod that I did not even pick up? Got him. Stomp him. Fighting pretty good. Nice bluegill there. That's a nice bluegill there, folks. Yeah, that's over 7 inches long, folks. Beautiful guy. Awesome fish, folks. Yeah, that's the best so far we've gotten. The bass was bigger than this, but bluegill, that's a nice bluegill. That's about, yeah, about 7 inches. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's come back and check that chat, folks. So that's our 5th bluegill of the day so far. 5 bluegill, a largemouth, and a crappie so far. Let's see, Danny laughing his butt off. Miss Gigi says Chris laughing her butt off. Let's see, Anna says nice fish, Mike. I appreciate that, Anna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Danny, watch it, buddy. You told people to watch it, and let's see, Chris. Yep, Miss Gigi laughing her butt off. Danny says, "I'm allowed." You're allowed if I allow it, and if I allow it, yeah, never mind. See, Chris says, "Well, then I prefer the pineapple, Danny." Let's see, Danny says, "I'm already guessing that, Chris." Let's see, Danny's laughing his butt off. Miss Gigi says, "Fruit, Chris." Fruit. Let's see, Danny laughing his butt off. Let's see, Felling says, "Nice." Let's see, thank you, Felling. Let's see, Chris says, "Not all the other fruits are Miss Gigi." Chris says, "Nice one." Let's see, Malik says, "Back again." Let's see, Danny says, "But most of the fruit bowl." Yeah, a guy over there caught maybe about a pound crappie. He's screaming all over the lake. Like, "Oh my god, that's a gigantic crappie. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." Sheesh, dude. See, Danny says, "But most of the fruit bowl." Miss Gigi says, "Could be fruit, veggies then." Let's see, Felon says, "Good day so far." Yeah, we're having fun. Actually, I did not catch a bluegill out there on that. Yeah, so that's actually 6 bluegill. I forgot I caught one on the corn too. So, let's see, Miss Gigi says, "Totally true." Let's see, Chris says, "Please without the bowl, Danny." Let's see, Danny says, "Deal." Let's see, Anna says, "You're a good fisherman, Mike." Thank you, Anna. Let's see, Doda, what's going on? How you doing, Doda? Doda says MVP. Doda says Chris. Let's see, Danny says hi, Doda. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of those this year. Let's see, Chris says, Miss Gigi says, add. Let's see, Doda says Gigi. Let's see, Chris says, add brother. Let's see, Doda says Anna. Let's see, 11 incredible people in. Let's see, 50 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. All right, let's get back to the fishing. Get one of these big carp that corn. I want one that's 130-pound carp. Wouldn't mind like a pound or 2-pound one. I wouldn't mind. Pound or 2 channel catfish. Oh boy. That's our second bass today, folks. But man, that's a little squeaker. Yeah, I gotta show them to you, folks. Every fish deserves his time on YouTube, even if it's less than a year old. Yeah, that's a little squeaker, folks. That still counts as our second bass of the day. See you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Might be a lot of those cool. Not a very good cat. Another crappie. Another nice crappie, folks. So that's our second crappie of the day. So we've caught 6 bluegill. This is our 6 bluegill, 2 crappie, and 2 largemouth. Well, that's a pretty guy. That's a gorgeous little guy, folks. Beautiful. Yeah, that'll go about 8 inches. Beautiful guy, folks. I love it. All right, buddy. Now let's see if I can get the hook out of you without hurting him too bad. It can be tricky sometimes getting the hooks out of these guys. They got really rubbery mouths, but at the same time, these little rooster tails can be pretty sticky. So I'm gonna have to get my forceps out for this one. Make sure I don't hurt this fish. I don't want to hurt her. All right, there we are, folks. That's the benefit of those little forceps. You can get that hook out without hurting them. All right, buddy. See you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, 9 people in and 50 thumbs up. We're halfway to 100, folks. Let's see. Dota says FNT. Dota says felon. Let's see. Danny says Mike is a good fisherman. Yes, but haven't beaten my score yet. Let's see. Malik says Dota and Danny with the fishy emojis. Let's see. Gator says Dota brother. Let's see. Miss Kiki says nice. All right, folks. We're caught up in chat. Oh, no, we got one more. Let's see. G-Man, what's going on? How you doing, G-Man? G-Man with the thumbs up. I appreciate it, G-Man. Thank you. Yep. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Helps out the channel so much. Like, subscribe, share us out. Let's get it. Let's get the content out there. On nipping at it. They like the brighter one better, definitely. Out there. I think I've only caught like two of them on one day. Honestly, what I should do, I just thought of that. Since I'm not fishing with another rod and it already has a bobber rigged up, why don't I catch a piece of small one? Cut that up, use that as cut bait on the smaller rod. All I gotta do is catch a bluegill. It shouldn't be too difficult, especially with actual bait. I can put like a little piece of cut bait under the top here. Hey, too big of a bluegill. That's too big of a bluegill, folks. You need a smaller one than that. That's just another. That's a long one there. That's actually just a hair over 6 inches. And we need a smaller bluegill than this to cut up. That's another male. Very, very dingy colored male, but still. Yeah, we've got transitional areas right now, folks, where part of these fish are trying to bed up, and the other part of them are kind of slacking off right now because the water, it's cold in one area and real warm in others because we've been having like really cold nights and like decently warm days, so it's kind of mixing them up. All right. One good check in here close for you guys before we let her go. All right, see you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna need a smaller bluegill mat if I'm gonna cut her up. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's a lot more hassle to cut up a bigger bluegill, and I don't like cutting up a bigger one. And we'll do that off camera so it doesn't bother anybody. Just got a little tiny number 12 thin wire hook on this one. A little itty bitty red worm. Got some duckies right behind you guys. Bluegill. Dogs and carp jump yet. Then again, those tractors tend to spook those guys. All that. That's small enough. Yeah, that one's small enough, folks. Yeah, that one's small enough. Dang it, my back. Yeah, that's a little 4-incher. That's perfect size to cut up. You got a lot of like muck and stuff on. That's a little male. So that's our 7th bluegill today. Tell you what, let me get this off camera and cut this up. Solid. We're just getting a little piece of red bait to put on the closer rod. Cut my goal. I know, folks. I'm keeping an eye on that other rod. Oh, that's a pretty good piece of cut. All right, gotta put a little piece of cut. Oh, oh, well, I guess I'll have to cut another piece. Just drop it. Look at that. Not drop it. I cut 3 or 4 pieces over there, and on the walk back, I dropped it. One good thing about doing this too is that it'll add natural scent to my hand when I'm bass fishing. It'll smell like give it extra scent. Let's enjoy the show today. You guys are having a great Thursday. We're going to cast this a little bit deeper. Not really that deep out here. Stick with the cap. That should be okay. Right on my butt here. When you guys can see it. I haven't talked to you guys in a plug minute. Let me come check the chat. Let's see, 12 people in and seeing 56 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's see, Spawn says, hi, good grip. How you doing, Spawn? Let's see, Spawn. Danny says, rinse you up. Yeah, you've been in quite a bit, Spawn. Let's see, Danny says, hi, Varga. Let's see, G-Man says, thank you, MVP. You're very welcome, G-Man. Welcome to the Blue Wrench Club, fellas. Let's see, Ramesh, what's going on? How you doing, Ramesh? Ramesh says, hi, bro. How are you? Doing okay, my friend. We've caught 7 bluegill, 2 crappie, a largemouth. We've got cut bait on the far rod there. We've also got corn on the close rod there. Fishing for carp and catfish and bass, bluegill, crappie, you name it. Let's see, Anna says pew. Let's see, Danny says hi, Ramesh. Let's see, Anna says hi, MVP. Let's see, Jenny says hi again, Anna. Let's see, Randy, what's going on? How you doing, Randy? Randy says Mike, MVP, afternoon. Afternoon to you too, my friend. Hopefully we can get some channel on that that far rod there with that cut bluegill. Let's see, Chris says hi, Randy. Let's see, Payday, what's going on? How you doing, Payday? Yep, Payday's the 55th like. Payday says hi. Payday says hi again. Payday says hi a 3rd time. Payday says hi a 4th time. Let's see, Randy says Chris, brother. Let's see, Chris, yep, PG-13 channel, please. Let's see, Jenny says ha ha. Let's see, Payday says Danny with A with again. Let's see, Ramsey says time, please. At 1:16. Says welcome, please. Yep, don't spam chat if you. Oh, duckies are flying right in here. See, Felon says cut bait is good stuff. Let's see, Rod Wilson's what's going on. How you doing, Rod Wilson? Rod Wilson says hi, Mike. And see again, David, what's going on? How you doing, David? David says I wish I was with you, buddy. You and me both. I enjoy fishing with folks. If you've ever seen me and Jason the Mason go out, and me and Steven Orta outdoors, it's fun. If you ever get a chance, you go through St. Louis, let me know. And why are these ducks like right friggin' behind me? What's up, buddy? Duck's acting a little weird. Let's see, Rod says, Brother Rhino. Let's see, Chris says Rod. Chris says David. See, Ramsey says, what machine do you using? Machine? I'm not sure what you mean. My gear right now is a Fluger, the close one. That is a 6'2", and the far rod there, that is a well, I've got it mixed up. The close rod is a it's an Abbott Garcia Silver Max. The far is a Fluger. Oh, the duck need orange sauce. That's a good way to get arrested. Yeah, you're not allowed to molest the waterfowl in the parks down here. They will arrest you too. Believe me, they will. Yeah, the line class is a I believe I've got is that corn? I believe I've got 10-pound test on this one. Got it, folks. Uh-oh. That's on corn. I don't think we've got our big carp, but we got something a little bigger. Nice channel cat. Yeah, that was on corn, folks. That's a nice channel, folks. Now, that's a solid 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. I cut bait. I put cut bait out there, and catfish hit the corn. Beautiful guy, my friends. Absolutely gorgeous. Gotta love it. Meow meow, folks. Yeah, we got him. Meow meow. Yeah, we're gonna have to get this guy back in the water quick. Beautiful guy, folks. Yeah, that's the best fish of the day so far, folks. So let me get this hook out of you. All right, that hook is out. Get back in the water. See ya. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I did not like where that hook was. I had to get him back in the water quick. Don't want to hurt these fish. That water's relatively cold, so it kind of stuff like that. I've got that. That's one of my carp. I put cut bait on and sucker hits the corn out there. One good thing about using corn too is you can keep it for a day or two as long as you don't put it in the bite them. You popped and dropped it out there, that cut bait. Trying to get some good kernels here. This is cheap stuff, so you gotta pick through it to get your best kernels. And you gotta string this stuff up the hook right. You want to go through the skin as little as possible, because that's the part of the corn that is going to hold the bait together. You just want to go right through the bottom and work it right back up there and stick it right through the top there. I don't know what is up with these ducks right now. Yep. Circling these stuff. Let me get this rod back out. I'll come check that chat, and then I can do some more casting the artificial so I can get some more bouncy crop. Right there. Now it's off. Man, it's off. It's off by about right. I gotta keep casting this in the same spot, right where I've been baiting up the spot. That's okay now, folks. That's a nice channel catfish, solid 2 pounds. That's the best fish we've caught so far today. It's been that channel. I sure would like to. So we've caught all the species in this lake, but green sunfish and carp. And we're going for the number 6, whatever one that is. Let's see, here we are. Let's see, Cater says, do what with ducks? I didn't say nothing about nothing with no ducks. It's the other guys talking about the other with the, oh, good googly. Let's see, Randy says, fish on. Let's see, Gator. Oh, with the, I'm not sure what emoji that is. And Chris laughing his butt off. Let's see, Fallon says, nice. Thank you, Fallon. Let's see. Chris says, nice. Nice kitty cat. Miss Gigi says, is that butter I see, Colt? Oh, boy. There goes the pocket litter again. Dude, and you wonder why you gotta, do your laundry so much. Let's see, Ramis says, is fishing for hobby? I've been fishing all my life, so I consider it a hobby, but I also do this for a living. Oh man, it's kind of close. That's not a catfish again, but we've got another nice big old bluegill. No, not a very big bluegill, but still a bluegill nevertheless. Yeah, I didn't hook this one, folks. I had the line wrapped around him. That's our 8th bluegill of the day, folks. 8 bluegill, a channel catfish, a 8 bluegill, a channel catfish, 2 crappie, and 2 largemouth so far today. Beautiful guy. See ya. Yeah, I'm disabled, Social Security disability. I'll talk about that part about it later, but the little money I get from Social Security does not pay for everything. So I kind of built this channel with the idea to help, put just a little bit extra money in my pocket, but at the same time, I built it to kind of share my experiences out here with everyone, talk to people, enjoy, just spend some time, share my stuff across the country and across the world. I don't really do it to make any money per se. I do it to hang out with my friends and family. But it is always nice to have just a few extra dollars to pay for a few extra things. It is always nice. Yeah, we're underneath a shade tree, folks, so I've got to walk out a little bit to the edge here. Wait properly. Catfish might be on the bottom, so it might cast this deeper. My problem with casting it too deep is this lake has got a tremendous froth. Cut bait, throw it on the bottom, it's like call them a dinner bell for this thing. They'll drag you into a rock so quick it'll make your head spin. Alright, let's back out as well. I'll come check that chat before I get back out with the rooster tail. Yeah, we've been busy today, folks. We have been busy. We're a little off angle there. That's better. Let's see. Chris says, this is the automatic answering machine from Chris. He can't come to the phone at the moment. Please try again later. Beep. Let's see. Gator says, I'm sending Danny a stick of butter one day. Don't do that, buddy. Seriously. Ew. I don't mind. That had given me nightmares. Let's see, Chris says, make it, I can't believe it's not butter grater. Oh, sending him believe it's not butter. That one's fine. That would be fine. Let's see, Gator says, and a note, just says pocket butter. Let's see, Danny with the emoji. Let's see, Miss Kiki laughing her butt off. Gator says, I love ya, Danny. Let's see, Danny with the heart emojis. Let's see, Danny says, love you, Colt. Yeah, I wish you wouldn't use my own account when you say, boy. Let's see, Gator says goose. Let's see, Chris says Danny was my first. Let's see, Danny laughing his butt off. Gator laughing his butt off. Miss Gigi says, Chris, I love you too. Let's see, Chris says, my first man, alive, Miss Gigi. Let's see, Chris says love. Chris says, now I understand why you were calling, me Gigi Danny. It's all makes sense now. Oh boy, I wish you wouldn't have put that in my head. Let's see, Danny says, right, and laughing his butt off. Gator says, that was a Danny, I don't think. Chris is after your heart. Let's see, Danny says, got the butter ready, Chris. Pineapple is going in soon. Well, you put the butter in first. That's definitely a help. Let's see, Danny says, Gator, I need more butter. Let's see, Mickey says, can I join? Let's see, Danny says, Let's see, Chris says, what to feel the heat? Oh boy. Let's see, Gator says, butter on its way. Let's see, Chris says, it depends, Miss Gigi. Let's see, Felon says, oh my. I don't blame that one, buddy. Oh me, oh my. Let's see, 15 incredible people in. Let's see, and 60 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you, thank you. Let's get back out here with the rooster tail. We got cut bait on this one. We've got corn on that one. Up the hook. Got another one. That's another. Oh, we'll have to see how big this one is over here. That's another crappie. That's our third of the day. It's a rooster tail. That's a little 6-incher. Beautiful guy, folks. Beautiful. Gotta love it, my friends. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Gotta go. our 8th bluegill. We've caught 8 bluegill now, 3 crappie, a channel catfish, and 2 largemouth. Yeah, that's just a little guy. She still counts. On artificials too. Yeah, of course the channel catfish hit corn, but still. Alright, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, my friend. See, 10 people still in and 60 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let's see, Jenny says, it's good and this time we can laugh together. Let's see, Gator says, got to laugh or life is pointless. You got that right, my friend. See, Chris says, yes, sir, it's laughter and giggles till something starts to hurt. Let's see, Felon says, nice. Let's see, Chris says, Danny, sorry, I have to make this one, but can't name is Giggy. Oh, well. Let's see, that's bad, Chris. Let's see, Miss Giggy's laughing her butt off. Let's see, Felon says, still a fish? Yep. You got that right, too, my friend. Keep an eye on those rods. Let's see, Jenny says, shame on you. Miss Gigi says, it sure is, Felon. Let's see, Jenny says, back to the fishing topic. Let's see, Danny with the, I think that's a devil emoji. That's one of those weird YouTube side emojis that I am not quite sure what the heck it means. And that line is totally slack, dude. That's been hit out there. Looks like she's been clean. No, not quite clean, but got a couple of kernels off. Well, I do really hope one of these big old carp come in here. We're definitely getting a bait line. That channel catfish came from way shallower. Yeah. Cast that one in a little closer. You never know, I might be casting out too far. A lot of carp anglers will do that incorrectly. Sometimes those carp will come right up to the bank when you've got them baited up. Got that baited up. They might come within a few feet of you. Like they don't care. There's food there, man. Starting to look like more time to buy a top one on down here. Popped off on me. holding okay. That's holding okay as well. I haven't taken many casts over here to the left yet. Oh man, hop, hop. Always amazed they can grab the sucker and not get hooked. Tree. I forgot that was right over the top of my head. Sure I did. Well, it's okay. This tree is just going to make it impossible to take a cast to the left over here. I got one little tree branch over my head. I have to push you guys back. I gotta push your tail off and pick them off the muck. I start getting the time where I'm going to think about putting a popper on. Walk around a little bit with you guys. There's some awful nice spots over here. Tell you what, it might be that time where I could just set this drag here and keep an eye on it from a distance. All right, Gator with that emoji. Chris says, you good, Gator? Miss Giggy says, I hope he is. Etsy Chris says, I think the butter is gone now. Etsy Danny says, it melted, I think. Well, that's what butter does, is melt in your pocket, definitely. Etsy Chris says, let's keep it at that, Danny. Let's see, John P, what's going on? How you doing, John P? John P with the MVP and the heart emojis. I appreciate you coming in, my friend. Let's see, Chris says John P. Let's see, 12 people and 61 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, so far we've caught 2 largemouth. Let's see, 8. Now the last one was our 8th bluegill. Let's see, 3 crappie and a channel cat. Let's see, Chris says John P. Let's see, Gator says, butter is never gone. If you say so, my friend. I think we're going to put on our popper again, folks. I think it's starting to get time where it could be entertaining, to say the least. I can keep an eye on these rods. We're not going to go any further than this little bridge, so we're pretty close to it. I'm gonna put this on my little Ozark Trails combo. I'm gonna risk it. I get a lot better distance with this rod, but you know, something over about 4 or 5 pounds. If I get a 4 or 5 pound largemouth, I'm toast. On this rod, my goose is cooked. Yeah, with no butter. Oh, that bobber's gone. Back up, man, dude. That cut bait, that sucker was gone. I'll put a piece of fresh cut bait on this one too. Before we take a few casts. And it's gone again. It's gone again. I think you don't like that. Dude. Glad I wasn't down in the river. It's much easier to get the worms back. Not on rocks. Yeah, I think I'll put up Whole bluegill head on this. What the heck? Just this right foot. Set that out there, and we'll come back and check that when we get back. I think that duck stole my. Oh, he didn't. I thought that duck stole my cut bait. I'm gonna get ticked off. I really should have this. On a different hook. Yeah. Catfish don't get very big in this lake, so we're not making very big pieces. Piece there. I think we're gonna put a small piece on the one rod. We're gonna put the head out there. There are actually a few big flathead in this lake. You don't see them much because people don't use actual live or fresh bait in this lake very often. They just don't hit like stuff like worms in a lake like this. You're gonna need to use a cut bluegill or a live shad, something that's gonna entice them. Because this lake is nothing but a gigantic smorgasbord for a flathead. That's why they put them in these lakes too, is a little addition to help keep the population of the smaller fish down. Yeah, I think we're gonna put this cut bluegill head on this one rod out here. I know we don't do this very often, folks, but it's since we're walking around, I might as well put a piece of cut bluegill on here. We can go back to the corn a little later on. Yeah. This we're gonna leave our clicker on. So what our clicker is basically that should work, folks. We've got our popper tied on. This is 2 pieces of cut bait over here. We're gonna walk over here and see what we can get with the popper for a minute. We'll come back soon enough. Assuming I trimmed that. Yeah, I did. Right. Let me my little baggy thingy so I can see the chat while we're walking around. And what's our battery charge doing? Pretty good. I'm just gonna pop the extender off of it for now. Alright. And I do remember every time I move I have to kind of refresh the camera. See, I really want to try right over here. Hi, duckies. Yeah, like I said, they were sitting right behind us. I'm gonna take a cast right around the edge of this, right around the edge of these reeds here before we get over there. See 6 incredible still people in. Awesome, folks. And 62 thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends, if you haven't. If you have, oh, enjoy the show. Excuse me, buddy. Start coming up and getting the top water again. Ow. That always helps. Move on, folks. Once we get to the next spot, I'll check that shed, okay? Assuming I can find my bottle. Where's my bottle? It was in the shade. So once we get to our next spot, I'll check that chat, folks. You know, we're just gonna go right on the other side of these reeds. That big old egret. Spooked a whole bunch of fish. Stinker. Let's see, 7 incredible people in. Let's see, and 65 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, Les, what's going on? How you doing, Les? Let's see, Les says MVP. Let's see, Chris says, thanks. Let's see, Les says, hi, Chris. Let's see, Hannah says, hi, everyone from work. Let's see, James, what's going on? How you doing, James? James says hi. Let's see, Gator says, Hannah. Let's see, and George, what's going on? How you doing? George says, how's everyone doing today? Well, Chris about knocked himself unconscious. Besides that, we've caught, let's see, 8 bluegill. Let's see, 2 largemouth, 3 crappie, and a channel catfish so far today. And I think we're going to get just a little bit closer to this spot. Boy, there's some nice fish working up right over here. I'm assuming that'll set up for us. Doesn't seem like it wants to. All right, that looks okay now. Yep, that looks okay now. More here. Now, I'm keeping an eye on the catfish rods down there right now. Now, we are fishing with carp earlier. I'm not sure if they're hitting. I haven't seen one hit the surface yet today. Never a good sign when they're not jumping. Let's see, 8 people in. I'm seeing 60, 66 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Betsy George says, that's way cool. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate that. And I got the line right in the zipper. Check that out. That's off. almost looking like a place I should be bottom bouncing. Like, crawl down here. Careful to do that. Get why one day the necks will change so much. I do know that we had some storms in one day and everything, but then like totally stopped. That one's got. I'm just not feeling this top form. We're gonna have to go back. It does give me a chance to check our catfish rods. By the way, again, I hope you guys are enjoying the show today. And I know that duck's been down here stealing my daggone corn. You guys are having an awesome Thursday. Some parts of the world, I do know it's Friday. But here, it's still Thursday. T. James says hi. Let's see, Deborah, what's going on? How you doing, Deborah? Deborah says hi. Let's see, Deborah says hello, MVP. Let's see, Danny says hi, Deborah. And Danny says hi, Hannah. All right, 8 people still in. Let's see, and 68 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me check these catfish rods. Yeah, it's got the flicker on it, so that'll keep her from getting pulled in. Well, I'm not sure. I could try a crawl. I could really do that. Light gear is not really the best. What is wrong with these ducks, man? Really the best option with this lighter line, but we're gonna try her. I should really grab my little box, take it with me too. Make sure I've got a couple artificial other things I can change to while we're walking around. do. Oh, let me grab my spinnerbait too while I'm at it, just in case. You never know. Yeah, this corner I can pretty much see all of our equipment and everything right here. I'll switch this up real quick. Yeah, I know. Crazy old ducks. Yep, many ducks. I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, they're acting crazy. Acting crazy in this one spot. Yeah, that's pretty tough line. That should be able to withstand my little craw technique. Yeah, basically I put a little like beaver style bait on with a weighted wide gap hook. That's got a spring on here. These are designed so they don't tear the baits up much, but at the same time they stay weighted. When they hit the bottom, the bait tends to point upward, so the crawl looks like it's pointing its pinchers at the fish, which is it's an attractant for largemouth. When they see those pinchers go up, they want to obliterate it. All right, that is tied on. I just got to put a bait on this. Yeah, this is a little Zoom. What do you call this? A Super Salty Plus. That's just a little, like I said, a little beaver style bait. Mimics a crawfish very well. And that's a screw hook, so that just screws in like that. Make sure that's on there nice and tight. Where we want to put that in is right where that bends. So, right. Oh, I missed it. Right there, I think. Yeah, right there. And that pushes right back in. That's completely weedless. There's no way that's getting snagged. Well, obviously anything can get snagged if it wraps around it 7 or 8 times, but it's practically weedless. Weed resistant. There is no such thing as a weedless lure. Trust me. If it says weedless, it's lying its butt off. I'm gonna get my box, put that in my bag, put that in my pocket. We're gonna do a little bass fishing, folks. My bag here too. All right, moving on. We're going back to our last spot because that looked too good. It's a little slower. I know, folks. People don't like the slower type baits when you're on live stream because it seems a little bit slower for everyone. But sometimes it's the only way to get these fish to hit. Alrighty. got one bait cast, but I'd like to be casting this on a bait cast. I think this is what I've got. Oh, that was up. Uh-oh. And that was a good one, folks. I just lifted it up and I felt that back on it. Nothing on it. Oh, that again. I didn't have a mouth though. Might like have a better. That's a pretty good strike. Wrap on it. Should know better to cast over the same spot. Fishing for bass. That's different when you're fishing for trout and other things. And it's quite different when you're fishing for trout than when you're fishing for bass. What's going on in chat here? That's another reason why this is Fish Too Hard. People like driving up. Let's see, Tink, what's going on? How you doing, Tink? Tink says MVP. Let's see, 8 people in, 72 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yes, sir. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. Perfect color. Yes. Never people off today, but people don't care. We're gonna go right on the other side of this bridge and take a couple casts, and then we'll come right back to our other rod. Rod's right down there. I can see everything, so I can take off running pretty quick. And that's one of the reasons why this lake is overfished, because people pretty much drive up anywhere they want to. Might cast a rooster tail over here in a couple minutes too. Yeah, our rods are right over there, so that's within 15 yards. I can get right over those things really quick if I have to. All right, looking good. Guys, very slow. Pick it up there for a second. And look at that. Did it. See how that hook's exposed? That means he grabbed it. Picked it up and dropped it fast. That's a good pop. Get that to go down like that. That means whatever that was big enough to get that whole lure in the mouth. Tail on while I talk to you guys. I know I haven't chatted with you in a minute. We're trying a few little spots right now. Let's see, Dylan says had to go to the store. I missed it. All right, no worries. We haven't caught much since you left, my friend. Pretty good channel catfish. I think I'll try my little spinner bait right here for just a couple flips before I'll switch to the rooster tail. Sometimes a spinner bait, especially if you get a bass or something to hit, and they drop it. Sometimes if you put that little spinner bait right behind it, it works both ways. Sometimes if you miss a bass with the spinner bait, the craw. If you miss it with the craw, the spinner bait. tied on. Trim that real quick. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. Kind of zeroed in on largemouth because that seems to be the thing that seems to be hitting the best today. We tried for carp for a while. I didn't get a bite. We caught one channel catfish over there. Number of bluegills, some smaller crappie. Got one pretty decent crappie. That probably was about 3/4 of a pound. All right, folks. I cast the old spinnerbait around here for a little bit. Yeah, I've got eyes on our rods. That's got a clicker on it, so I should even be able to hear from over here. Now you want that to spin right below where you can see it. If it was in the middle of the summer, I'd be reeling that right up to the surface. It's not summer. Not by a long shot, folks. Spin. Blade messed up. Right on top of the wall. Bad gas. It was about 3 feet high. I wanted it in underneath the bridge. Still missed it. Not quite as bad. That's where I wanted it. It's a pretty weedless spinnerbait. It's not weed proof, but it is pretty weed resistant. One more cast here and we'll just tie back on that rooster tail and take some casts. I know I haven't caught a fish in a minute, folks. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch back to the rooster tail again. One good thing about doing this technique is it gives you a chance to practice your knots. How many times I've retied today is astronomical. It's been probably the 30th time I've retied today. Just keep switching up baits from spot to spot. Trim that real quick. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. All right, that's trimmed up. All right, back to the tried and true, trusty rooster tail. I just gotta kind of watch it around these new trees, all these fall downs that we had from that tornado. Yeah, we had a big, nasty old tornado that hit St. Louis last summer. Tore down a heck of a lot of structure. which is, is great for the fishing. I mean, it's great for the fish. Very great for the fish, in fact. There wasn't much structure in this lake, right, except around the edges. It's not grass. It's not grass. Good. Good. See if there's anything out here deeper. Got him. Got him, folks. Got him. What we got? Hey, bluegill. Yep, we haven't caught a fish in a while. I'm glad to see you guys are still around. That's our 9th bluegill so far today, folks. I always count on the rooster tail to be able to catch something, right, folks? Beautiful little guy. Gorgeous little fish, folks. Gotta love it. Alright, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Always count on the rooster tail to be able to catch something. And it would be out there mid-range instead of right by the bank. So it's supposed to be. Got him. Come off. Ah, it's so bigger. Man. Our camera angles are off. I see it now, folks. Our cameras are off. This camera angle's like way off here. Should be just a smidgen over there. That was nice, whatever it was. It's going hard. Probably for your crappie. Man. Add him on again. That's another nice bluegill. 10 bluegill. On the rooster tail, I'll take it any day of the week. Out. Number 10 so far, folks. Number 10. So 10 bluegill, let's see, 2 largemouth, 3 crappie, and a channel catfish so far today. Thanks, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I always count on that rooster tail to be able to catch something with it. T-Felon says, can't go wrong with the rooster tail. Yes, sirree. Let's see, Manu, what's going on? How you doing, Manu? Manu says hi. Let's see, Gator says hi, Manu. Let's see, 6 people still in. Let's see, and 75 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Thank you. I forgot sometimes those bluegill can fight like a 6 or 7 inch long bluegill can outfight a pound crappie. Way too close to that tree. When you're trying to get distance over accuracy, pop. Pop again. Let's move over a little bit. There's another spot over here past us that was just itching to be casted by. Just another little spot over here. It's just itching to be casted by over here. Like right. See right here. Looks like a pretty good little angle. 6 people in and 75 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Right, there we go. Got it. Popped off. Dang it. Another nice crappie. That's our 4th crappie of the day, folks. That's a lot of these little ones I'm missing out there are these crappie. They can be tough to keep hooked on the rooster tail, even though it's got 3 hooks. 6 3/4. So not quite a 7-incher. Not quite what I would consider to be a keeper, but still a beautiful fish, folks. That's our 4th today, so gotta love it, my friends. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, I just wanted to move that camera a little bit. Just dropped it. And they're just tough to keep in. Up. You can feel them when you hit it because the blades will stop spinning all of a sudden. That's the benefit of this little Ozark Trail, this little medium to light axis. You can feel every little dip or roll at it. Got him. Another nice one. Another nice crappie, folks. That's our 5th crappie so far today. And that one will go 7 inches. 7.25 on this one. Awesome fish, folks. Beautiful. Gotta love it, my friends. Bye, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Never fail. Fish tail will always wind up and give you something. Of course, I have to dive bomb the sucker out there to the limits of my casting range, but what the heck. About 3/4 of the way to the other side of the lake. Got him, folks. Got him. That's another one. Five, so that's 6 crappie so far. And we found a school of these guys out here now. Gorgeous guys. Beautiful. These guys are actually starting to look a little healthier than, because recently we've had a lot of like stunted size crappie. Now that's got a decent sized eye for the body. So that's not like a super size, like it's got a huge eye on a little body. Yeah, that one has the potential of getting to be a slab for sure. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciated. Let's see. Chris says, have some for. Leave some for the other fisherman, Mike. Oh, let them get their own, Chris. Let's see. Mike says, let's see. They got nice colors to them. Oh yeah, beautiful. Those are white crappie rather than black crappie, so they're a lot more silvery than the ones you see NJ catching. Yeah, these prefer shallower lakes to those darker locations, darker and deeper waters. Seriously? Got him, folks. Got him. That's another nice one, folks. Yeah, this one's got his tuxedo on. 5, 6, 7. So that's not quite as big, but definitely a good one, folks. Yeah, this one's got his tuxedo on. That darker coloration to him. Yeah, he's in here bedding, so beautiful guy, folks. 6, 7, yep, 7 so far. So let's see, 7 crappie, let's see, 8 bluegill, channel catfish, and 2 largemouth. Gotta love doing this, my friends. Beautiful guy. Check out the colorations on that. Darker black colorations, because that one's in here, like I said, he's in here bedding. Got him again. Got him again, folks. That's bluegill. 7, 8, 9 bluegill. That's our 9th bluegill today, folks. Beautiful guy. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciated. Let's see, Chris with the 6, Malik with the 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6. So what the heck? Would you fall asleep on your phone there, Malik? Let's see, Felon says very nice. Appreciate that, Felon. Thank you, my friend. Let's see, Manu says nice. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. Just checking my battery. Looks like it's doing okay. Come on. All stickers like popping right by the bank. Or like way out there deep. One of the two. I cast that in a little bit too close to that tree. Please don't hit the tree. Okay, got all popped off. Man. Got him, folks. Got him. Got him. Aha! Great. Lake crappie. Another gorgeous guy, folks. Beautiful. Beautiful guy, my friends. That's about 7, yeah, just about 7 inches. Maybe a hair, just a little bit longer, but still a nice crappie. See, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, one more before we go back to our original spot. Ah, wing knot. Crap. That is not good. Get off there, you stupid line. Went under and around the wing knot. So I gotta back the line up from the wing knot to get out from underneath the wing knot to get it to even start. Again. Just gotta keep that wing knot up so that I can scoop this thing out. Stay up. No way that's coming out. Gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. I do not like doing it like this. I don't like doing it like that. It winds up getting tangled on the ground while you're doing it. Alright, we got that. That was a luck. That was luck that you got that off there. So one more out here before we go back to our original spot. Come on. Not close. Top off. seconds. One more, we go back to our original spot over here. In the distance, the wind starts blowing my face. Had it. I twice popped on it. Got him, folks. Got him that time. All right. Well, that's our 9th crappie. Another darker colored one. Number 9, folks. That's another one that has his tuxedo on. Beautiful guy. Gotta love it, my friends. All right, buddy. All right, let's go back to our original spot over here. Check our catfish rods. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. Besides, that guy got me nervous. That guy in the black truck, he stopped in front of my scooter for about 4 or 5 seconds. I can outrun a person, but I can't outrun a truck. Would be nice if someone with a like $35,000 truck to steal a guy's $100 scooter, which, you know, wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me one bit. Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of shoreline we still could be fishing. I checked this guy's out. There's another hole over here, a big one over there, goes all the way around. It's a lot of shoreline we could fish. I can actually wear the cell phone as a body camera. I've got it set up to where I can put the top of the cell phone in my top pocket. It's just, I don't like the imagery that Android phones create when they're being walked around on live feeds. It looks horrible. I mean, it's all pixelated. You can't tell what the heck's going on. I'm out here to create fun, interesting, and enjoyable content, not a blurry mess. Now, I do know there are some areas where the signal quality doesn't come in too great. That's totally understandable. But putting an Android phone on a body camera, it just doesn't really work. All right, folks. Let's see, 3 hours and 27 minutes. Let's see, Pierce says 89. Let's see, Pierce says 69. Pierce says, with the smiling emoji. Let's see, Jason says, Chris, brother, how you doing? Your head feeling better. Let's see, Chris says, getting better, Jason. And thanks for asking. T Malik says Pier. Pier says howdy to Fun Mix. Jason says Pier brother. Let's see, Malik says Jason. Chris says Pier, your head the 9 right. Huh? And it means see 7 people in, 79 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let me check these rods. This one's been pulled pretty good. It's on there, folks. That's on and that's not a fish. That is not a fish. That is a reptilius giganticus and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Let's go with that. Stop. What else? Go. Oh, let go. I got you. Yeah, that is a big freshwater turtle, folks. That is a big freshwater turtle. Check this guy out, folks. Now, that's what happens when I use cut bait in this lake. Ow, his claws are sharp, man. Yeah, that is a big freshwater turtle, folks. As it looks like a loggerhead. Yikes. Say hello to everyone. Say hello. Yeah, he's camera shy. He's still got the fish in his mouth too. Ouch. Yeah, he's got some sharp old friggin' claws. There you go. Go on. Go home. There he goes. Thanks. What a way to end the day, folks. Yeah. What a way to end the day with a big old turtle. Little pixelated Mike, thanks for letting me know, Chris. Yeah, that was a big old turtle, folks. Look better? Let's see, Northern, what's going on? How you doing, Northern? Northern says hello, Mike. How you doing today, buddy? 18 people in and seeing 79 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let's see, so we've caught 9 crappie, 10 bluegill, 9 crappie, 10 bluegill. Let's see, 2 largemouth, and a channel catfish so far today. Let's see, Norda says, I'm doing good, buddy. And thank you, Chris. Thanks for letting me know. Let's see, where's our battery patch here? Not the right one. And if that's the right one. Yeah, we still got a bluegill head out there. We caught a big old, 3-pound turtle, too. I forgot about that. And we just caught a big turtle. Big old freshwater turtle. That still counts as a catch, though. Yep, and the turtle, Chris. Yes, and the turtle. I totally forgot the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. All right. Let's see if we can end the day on a fish. I'd like to catch one more for you guys. I want to catch one more for you guys. It shouldn't be that difficult. You can tell to get pretty good. If they're out there deep, they usually get a right. at him. Hooked off again. Got my spinner pretty good. Kept on. Yep. Like 7 strikes on that one cast. Oh, man. Hey, they can hit her. Roll it on. Look on it. Got him. Got him. Hop off. I don't know. Now, the turtle doesn't sound big. But I could check my bluegill head out here. Probably not. The catfish in this lake is a little bit too small for hitting big old catfish. It was worth the effort to try. I gotta get down to be able to cast this underneath this tree here. Yeah. Underneath that tree, it's a pretty good cast. Got him that time. Hopped off again, man. Dang it. I'm getting strikes out here, 4-5 strikes every cast. It's not standing in. It's like 3 strikes on that cast. lake out there. Can't get one more on the hook from you guys. Hopping off on us. Bluegill. That'll count. That'll count. Our 12th bluegill. Good way we can end the day on a fish. Finally was able to keep one of those little stinkers hooked. That's about 5.5 inches. 5 1/4, 5.5 inches. Beautiful guy, folks. Beautiful. Heck of a day, folks. Heck of a day. Let's see. So we've caught, let's see, I believe 12 bluegill, 9 crappie, a channel catfish, and 2 largemouth today. Gotta love it, my friends. Gotta love it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciated. Yep, I think we're going to call her, folks. 11 people still in. Let's see, 91 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. And Jason, what's going on? How you doing, Jason? Let's see, Jason says, cheers, brother. Let's see, Chris says, false north. Let's see, Chris says, yep, and a turtle. All right, folks, I think we're going to call her for the day. 3 hours and 40 minutes. I think we did a pretty good live stream. We didn't get that big old carp, but we did get one nice channel catfish out there. A lot of nice panfish, a couple decent bass. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. I'm just going to have my old good luck. Stay safe. Hope to see you on the water, my friends. Keep doing what you love. Keep them lines tight. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Appreciate it.